Okay, fans of the internet, I just realized I don't have a shirt on, so I don't know where I'm going to clip this microphone. Uh, had a. This is so weird. I'm also making this into a podcast because some people like listening to these instead. The question on the group ride, I was talking to somebody about a rest week and a taper week, and they said, "Wait, isn't a rest week a taper week?" And I said, "No, not to me. It's not. It's definitely something very different." So then I decided that I would make a video about this. This is really annoying. Oh well. So what is the difference in a rest week and a taper week? And update, we won't even get into this. Okay, so rest week versus taper week. I decided that I would show you what I would do I'm on a rest week right now. So I'm on a mini rest week. Not a mini rest week. I'm on a weekend rest week. Sorry that my thoughts are scattered. I went to a wedding last night, and for wedding reception, for a wedding that was back in April, and they threw this party last night, and they had this killer playlist, and so I started feeling like maybe I'm gonna drink a couple beers tonight. I hadn't drank in 8 months, and I had 5 beers, and I feel kind of ratty today. Not a good feeling. I don't think I'm gonna do that again for a long time. But sorry if this is a little scattered. But so Friday, if I'm doing a rest week, I'm hard on the rest. And if you've been racing and training and going hard and you're consistent, every 4th week can be a way to rest, which is when you get stronger. Okay? Everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of us forget, myself included, that we go out and ride, we're hitting PRs, we're getting better throughout the season, but riding your bike is stress. And when you rest, that's when your body rebuilds. Just think of yourself as a bodybuilder. They go get pumped, they do, crazy lifting workouts, and then when they rest and eat food, their muscles grow. So just remember that basic concept. You got to rest to really get stronger as you're building. And so you're going to be, building, resting, and then building and tapering into a race. You're a race. You don't taper in every race. That can be another conversation. But so Friday was a rest day. Saturday was a rest day. Today, I'll do an openers ride. So these are some pre-workouts that I have saved in my library so I can easily drag them over. An openers ride is where you're going to go out and you're going to ride at an endurance pace. So 75% max of your FTP. And there's going to be 5 30-second efforts that are VO2 max, so 106 to 120% of your FTP, but they don't need to be super stingy. If they feel kind of hard, just ease it back a little bit. You're just literally opening your legs. And opening your legs just means reminding your body that you're an athlete, that you work out, that you do hard efforts sometimes. And then Monday's going to be a rest day. And then Tuesday I would do enduro openers, which this is weird for me that it's on the weekend. So this might not visually be the best example. But enduro openers would just be the same exact thing, but it might be 2 hours. So a little bit more endurance so your body doesn't get super stale. Yes, the next Saturday. So say we did this the normal rest week. Monday rest. Tuesday rest, Wednesday is the openers ride we just talked about, Thursday rest, Friday endurance openers, so maybe it's 2 hours with those same openers, 106 to 120%. Saturday I do a rest week revamp. That's the thing for work, don't be freaked out. Where you're basically going out and you're now super fresh. Go out and try and crush some short duration, anything under 2-minute PRs. And the reason for that is it's going to hurt, but your watts will be really good. They should be really good. You're rested, you're fresh, you're strong. Things over 10 minutes are going to be difficult to hold. So don't go do a 20-minute FTP test because you're probably not going to crush it. Maybe go do it, see how you do. But most people really struggle with long duration efforts after a lot of rest, and they freak out that they're, oh my God, where'd all my fitness go? It's just your body is coming back from the rest. Give yourself a few days. By the next Tuesday, Wednesday, you're fine. Very few people. I've coached over 100 athletes now. I would say maybe 3 it takes them. They're usually older. It takes them maybe till Thursday or Friday, and they'll freak out if they have a race coming up. They're like, I feel like crap, and it's like, dude, you're fine, you're rested, you're fresh, you're gonna kill it today, and then they'll go set PRs and like win a crit. If you had a really long time trial, maybe we would end the rest week a day earlier. But you really don't even have to. Don't mess up the formula. It works. So that is a rest week. A taper week. So I just threw these in here. Say I'm not going to River Gorge this year. We got some other plans popping off that we'll talk about later. You always work backwards, right? This is why planning is important. Now, what you do the 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, that is very personalized, and it depends. The intensity and the duration depends on the athlete. It depends on the event you're going into, and it's way too in-depth to get into this conversation, but we can definitely talk about that another time. But this is specifically the taper week. So the day before, openers is a thing, right? But about 3 years ago, I started realizing that when I went through a normal week of training, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would take Friday off. I would go to this group ride, and I was thinking back, and I would set some PRs sometimes. The latte ride, shout out to the Rochester Genesee Valley Cycling Club. 40, 50 dudes come out, maybe a couple women, and people hammer. And there's some sections you can go long and hard. You can go short, punchy. Like, the route is awesome, and I kind of miss this now thinking about it. But I'd come off a rest day and I'd be killing it. So I'm like, why do I really need to do openers? And the day before a race, you got to pack. You're probably going to work. You're coming home from work. You got to say goodbye to your family. You got things to do. Do you really have that hour to go out, do openers, come back, then repack your bike stuff? I say forget it. So I rest the day before so I can have an easier, more mentally, fresh day traveling. I'll do my openers, and I might make them just a little bit longer the day before. The day before that, I'm doing some light tempo. So think like 90% of your FTP, maybe 20 to 30 minutes of it on a 2-hour ride. The day before, Tuesday, is more intensity. It doesn't have to be long. You can keep the ride less than 2 hours. Go out and do some VO2 max efforts. I don't think I would do 6x3 and 4x2. This also varies on where you are in your training, how long have you been training, what kind of intensities can you handle, what are you specifically good at. Everyone's max aerobic is different, so don't overdo it. But yeah, go out or if there's a training race you can go do the training race. If you do a training race, then maybe make this a little bit easier, but that's a taper. So you see that you're still getting that bump in your chronic training load, and then you're just staying fresh. You're not letting yourself get stale, which happens in the rest week, but it's fine because you're resting. And now the placing of this, you do not want to put a rest week immediately before an A race, because you want to taper. This would be a good taper into an A race. If you rest and go into an A race, like we already talked about, you're going to feel stale. If this is an A race down here, you can do it, but I would say if you're doing a rest week here, so this is a taper. If this was a rest week instead, it would be better maybe to have the A race down here or down here, but it depends on the athlete if they can hold it that long. A lot of athletes do better with rest, intensity with some duration, quick taper, and then they're popping off. But others, if you're going out and you race like I race, and you're more in breaks and doing longer efforts, and the data shows that with some more riding in your legs, you're going to perform better at longer duration, like riding in a break, like 40-minute, hour efforts. You might want to take the rest week, do super hard stuff here, have a good weekend, do intensity, less duration here, and then the taper week here, okay? And then you would rest. So there's a lot in there, but I think that's pretty explained hopefully well. If not, please ask questions. Shout out again to Johnny for my Sasquatch name. I think Bigfoot is also appropriate. And yeah, holler at Collaborative Coaching if you want to get more in depth on this. I really think the offering that we have is one of the best out there. Patrick and Jason are phenomenal coaches, and this is all personalized. So especially as we are getting into, I think my next video will be about, I do not have the word off season in my vernacular, because the next season that comes is when I get really strong and I work on all my weaknesses so I can be better next season. And I'm pumped to hit the gym and just look around at all the best athletes. They're getting off the bike for a little while, and Collaborative Coaching has a sick power phase setup that if you're not on the train, man, choo-choo, you might get left behind. So I'm pumped for that. That's my sales pitch. And check out my blog. And yes, my friend he's like, hey man, you're posting like Amazon links, but you didn't tell people that. So that's like not cool. I thought people would realize that those would be affiliate links. So if I recommend specific products that I love, if you buy them through there, I get a couple cents that helps me pay for bandwidth and other things that I have to do to keep all this stuff rolling. So appreciate the support, and please let me know if you have questions, and I'll put my email below. There are no dumb questions. Trust me, I've asked all of them. Talk to you later. Bye.